invited Sunny Bijlani, Joint MD of Supreme Universal, to be with us to have a chat at our studio. Welcome, Sunny, to ITP India.
Thank you, Jayashree, and the whole team for inviting me.
How did your growing up years influence your love for projects?
Honestly, Jayashree, I actually did not know I'm going to get into business. So I obviously grew up knowing that that there is this business that is always an option. But when I was growing up, I had never thought that this is the default mode. Also because in my head at that time, I actually was wanting to explore everything that's available, because I knew that once I bite this bullet, then probably there's no turning back. So I actually, without telling anybody, sat for campus placement. I obviously didn't tell anybody at home. I got selected, and I was one of the 2 people that got selected as a risk consultant with Ambit RSL. So I was doing fraud investigation, I was doing process audit, and I would travel to like different cities across India. I was auditing Tata Sky, doing some fraud investigation, and this was my first stint. It was, I think, 2 or 3 months after I'd already joined, where my father had a conversation with me and told me that, if you're done good time after graduating, do you think that you should join the business? So I told him that I'm already working somewhere. He was shocked, obviously. He had no clue, and I deliberately didn't have this conversation. So he, was shocked and asked me that why not? And I gave him my reasons that, I want to make sure that I explore outside. And even if I decide to come back, maybe because I love what I do, not because this is what is available. So after a couple of years, we again had a chat, and he told me that why don't you look at this as a job offer, where you negotiate what you want and give this 12 months. If you don't like what you're doing, you choose your own path in life. And I thought that was fair. I very reluctantly actually came on this side. And in about a couple of years, I just realized that I actually enjoy it because I enjoy the sheer complexity of the business. And coming from a risk consulting background, I think I understood what controls can be put in place really to mitigate risk. And I think that is, managing risk is the job of any entrepreneur. Because you're obviously playing to some extent, there are too many moving parts, and you have to make sure that you're managing risk to whatever best of your ability. And that's where the journey began, and then the rest is history. And then I think the same crush bit me that bit my family before me, that I fell in love with brick and mortar, and I enjoyed deal making, and that's where it got me here.
What's your vision for brand Supreme Universal?
I'll tell you, first for us is we want to be known as a company through and through, across functions. Whoever you interact with in Supreme, you will know that they all bear and swear by the right values. So for us, we have a 5-point value system. I call it CHIP, since the whole world works on that today. Collaboration, humility, innovation, integrity, and persistence. So for us, we breed this 5-point value system across every function. Obviously, it's always work in progress. We want to make sure that these values drive every decision we take. We want every customer to look at Supreme and know that they don't have to question quality, they don't have to question delivery, which is also the case now. And we want to be the number 1 choice in any micro market. Where we go, we want to be the customer's first choice. That's the vision with which we will even take up a project. If we don't feel that project can do justice to our vision of being able to be the number 1 choice in that micro market for a customer, we will not touch that project. So we want to go to a micro market and make sure we are giving something different to every customer. So for us, we are very choosy and picky in the kind of land that we pick up, because that's something you cannot unwind. I can change a design, I can change the paint, I can't change the land I've got. Especially like most developers, we had a very humble beginning. Started in 1981, and at that time, I think the landscape of real estate and the landscape of our industry was very, very different. Redevelopment obviously was not very common at that time. My father and his childhood friend, as rebels in their own family business, kind of ventured out thinking that they'll probably give a shot at something else. They obviously had no clue. They started with one small land parcel, burned their fingers a few times, paid a heavy tuition fee to learn the tricks of the trade, and that's the location where they found love with real estate, and that's where the romance began. And from that far end western suburb, I think slowly they started getting opportunities. Real estate is all about where the opportunity gets you. And at that time, That's where they saw them being able to have the right appetite to be able to do a project. And with early successes, they obviously got a little more courage than to come on this side. I've now been in the business for the last 2 decades. For us, the way we've structured the whole business is to keep things simple. When you overcomplicate life, I think, or you bet too much on either leverage or regulation, at some point it gets the better of you. So we've kept life very simple. We've just made sure that we do what we understand. We've not tried to do too much beyond our bandwidth. And for us, our value system has driven every strategy, whether it's land buy, whether it's financial strategy. So for us, we've then now realized that our passion is also in design and development. So for us, when we look at a project, before we actually look at the bottom line, we actually look at whether this product is exciting us or not. This product is going to add value. And somehow we've kind of experienced that if the product is correct in any market, there is a buyer. Sometimes when you chase mindless scale just for that extra buck or just because the numbers seem lucrative, in a bad cycle, when the product is not adding value to the customer is not going to add value to you. So somewhere we felt that if you're honest with the product, you will get the right opportunity. And we've seen multiple cycles. I've seen 3 or 4 really, really tough cycles. Touch wood, we've never had leverage, so we've sailed through. So for us, we've gravitated then more towards the premium and ultra premium segment, and hence the extension towards Bandra, Khar, Pali Hill, Chembur, Dadar, Warsaw. We've done a large 2.5 million square feet project in Powai, 1,800 homes. And in sometime in early to mid 2000, we graduated to Pune as a segment where we felt that that's a different customer segment, a different price point, and it's also some place which has obviously also has scale and consistent demand. And we thought that we should even enter that market. And both markets today we are spread across micro markets, and yeah, things have panned out well.